Hi Virgo, this is going to be your May Sun, Moon, and Rising video for May 2025. If the reading doesn't resonate as a Virgo Sun, I ask you to check back to your Moon and Rising sign. I have with me today the Radiant White deck, the Lavita Sibila for clarification should we need. So far I haven't needed to use them except for one video maybe. We'll wrap the reading up with a Psychic Oracle Tarot or Nostradamus, go to Nostradamus Oracle card. I'm behind in my work, so I have to get started with the reading. I'm gonna shuffle some more and put another rifle on the deck. There have been some interesting readings so far. I think that everybody is in for a change so far. That's what it seems like to me. And so I'm going to do my best to bring to you the reading and explain what is going on. So let's cut the cards. 9 cards down. Here we go. The Queen of Swords. The light is not right, so hang on. The 5 of Cups. The Page of Swords. Next row, the Magician. The Tower card. This card has come out in almost every reading, so I think we're going to be in for a big surprise. It may have to do with the markets. It may have to do with the prices of groceries. It may have to do with stocks of food supply chain. I don't know. The 4 of Wands. The Chariot. Almost every reading has been like this. I think the Tower has come out in the last three readings. The 6 of Wands. And finally, last card, the 5 of Wands. And what is over the entire reading? It is the 8 of Swords. Interesting. Let me adjust the light some. Hopefully that's better. Just turn it a little bit. Yes. So what is the premise, the base of the entire reading is the Tower card right in the center. And there's lots of motion going on around the Tower. I do want to give one warning to Virgos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're traveling, please be careful, because these 2 cards I have seen represent a crash or a vehicle accident. The Tower and the Chariot. So what does the Tower stand for? If you notice, this is the only man-made structure in the deck. And it represents Uranus, which says, be prepared to expect the unexpected. Okay? So expect something unexpected to happen. It doesn't mean, it doesn't say that it's going to be a bad thing, just that you expect something unexpected to happen. Like you could lose your job or a relationship could break up. It's about the man-made structures we have built up in our lives which don't last. Because the man-made structure says it doesn't last. See how the people are falling from the tower? That means that the event will pull the rug out from under you. And here with the crown and tower, crown and lightning bolt being struck off, it could be like an epiphany. Aha, that's why that happened. Or that's what that means. So the lesson is to expect the unexpected. The universe does not like things to stay static. So things are changing and are going to have to change. So what do I have? I have two swords, which represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. I have one cup, which talks about your emotional quotient, how you feel about a situation. And I have three wands, which represent your focus, passion, desire, and determination. So starting, the cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future with the interplay of the cards. Here in the past row, it shows me that you have been strategic about doing something and moving your life forward. Because the Queen of Swords represents, I think she gets a bad rap because mostly she is looked upon as a divorced woman who is bitter. Not all divorcees are bitter. Divorcees can tell you some of the things they went through, if it was hard or not. So they have an opinion that they will give to you, sometimes unvarnished, meaning they tell you what they think, exactly what they think. It can be a harsh lesson, but it's not meant to be, I think, disrespectful in some cases. She is not appearing to me in a reverse situation. So as a profession, she can be a counselor, a lawyer, work in arbitration. She can be a surgeon, an oral surgeon like a dentist, a policeman, a fireman. She can be a writer, editor, researcher, anywhere that sharp tools are needed or keen intellect to get the job done. And as you can see at the top of the spread here, she is in an environment where she can see clearly. Her head is above the clouds. So she sees clearly, I think, what's coming and what may happen in some respect. The next card is the Five of Cups. And fives always represent a changing energy. So I would say the energy is uncomfortable. It's discordant. And you may not really understand what's going on. But in this case, I see you crying over spilled milk or spilled whatever. And you have three cups in front of you in which they're pouring out their contents. And the two cups behind you are left. So this card represents the idea that you should not hide your light under a bushel. And you should not cry about the past because you can't change it. I call this cup the card the Two of Cups in disguise. Because if you turn around and just look, you have all is not lost. You still have two potential cups of happiness there to greet you. The question is, will you turn around and take them? And the five also says, do not I will come back to that because I forgot it. And here we have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is a student of communication. He doesn't mind talking about things to get to the truth. And so to me, all pages and nights represent messages. So I think within a week, you will receive a message and telling you something that you need to know. Next row, the Magician is related to all aces. Here's a 1 card. And the Magician says that you have everything you need to create the life that you want, or create the conditions that you want. He even has a laminate over his head. It's a figure 8. On the table, he has a wand, a sword, a cup, and a pentacle, meaning he got all the tools that he needs to create exactly what he wants. Have you ever seen a magician do what seems to be an impossible illusion? But that's because he practiced. Nobody sees all the practice he puts in, all the study that he puts in. But he can make it look effortless, like magic. And this card can sometimes represent gaining new skills that you will be tapped to put into use, new responsibilities, but something new. And it also says, as above, so below. That's what the laminate stands for. Whatever you think of, you can, it will, what's a word, the phrase, if you build it, they will come. So it talks about whatever you can imagine. If you can build it, you can do it. If you can imagine it, you can do it. The 4 of Wands, 4s represent a stable foundation. So this 4 of Wands talks about having something to celebrate. If you receive a new job or position or something like that, celebrate it. Celebrate what you love doing. But the card can also, I call it the shacking up card. The card can also represent you may have a relationship that grows into deeper significance than you realize. Okay? It's also about home, what you consider to be home, and being happy there. Next up, the last row, we have the 5 of the Chariot, which is a 7. And 7s always require that you stop and contemplate what you're going to do next. It is a mystical number and a spiritual number. But if you look here at the card, the charioteer has no reins. So how is he controlling the vehicle? Chariots were never meant to be like Land Rovers or Lexuses or Cadillacs. It was a hard, dusty ride to where you had to go, and dangerous and long. But the way you get there is to balance out the negative with the positive. So this card is about controlling your emotions. Again, I'm getting the message here with the wings and the yoni that this card may have something to do with your home, or what you call home or consider home. And the message is coming, and it asks you to control your emotions, because you can definitely get to where you want to go. The 6 of Wands. 6 is a number of love, harmony, and balance. This is kind of funny because we have the 5 of Wands ending. If it was like this, it would be a different story, but it's like this. So the 6 says you have overcome some kind of fight, because before it was a 6, it was a 5, but it's now a 6. And you may get your name in the paper. You may receive an award or reward, or you may get a promotion or a bonus. Your finances may increase because of this new position. But it says that you are going to be recognized for your efforts in what you do, usually in a work situation context. But the thing about the Six of Wands is it represents leadership. If you see those people behind him, they're these people. Okay? And you didn't get to the 6 without the help of those people. So even your haters, you should thank them. Look at the horse's face. Even the horse says you didn't do this by yourself. So be ready. But it ends in a 5. And I have 2 5s here. And 2 5s, I think I'm going to tell you what they mean in a minute. But the 5 of Wands says it's about competition, about play. These are supposed to be children playing. But to me, the card represents everybody trying to get their opinion in. Everybody having the last word. So the card can sometimes represent somebody playing head games with you. Like doing one thing and saying another. And it's important to have the facts straight so that you can make a confrontational stand. I'm not talking about fighting. I'm saying if you have to confront somebody on the merits of what they're arguing about, you want to have the facts straight. It's important that you do that, and it's important that you stand your ground. But over here, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Swords. And this card is all about feeling as if you are stuck and you can't move. But if you take off the blindfold and shirk off the binds, you will see that you are not stuck in one place. You can literally walk around the swords. This water here intimates about your intuition. And so this card can represent a situation of your own making, which can be hard to hear if you feel like this. It can also represent imprisonment, at least of the mind. But it can also say you may not be able to move physically right now or see where you're going, but your mind is free, so you can think about what you're going to do when the situation is over. This has a hostage feeling to it. And I feel that a lot of people feel like they're being held hostage right now with the government. That's another story, but I kind of get that feeling. It can also represent being 8 are usually good numbers, karmic numbers that represent money. So maybe it's that financially you can't move right now, but you can think about ways to do what you want to do while you can't move physically. Okay, so I only have these 2 cards that traditionally represent people, so I can't read them. I can't tell you what else is more messages, but I can tell you if there are more messages with the 5 of Cups, 4 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands. That's a lot of wands. So it looks to me like March will be, I don't want to say pivotal. It will be in a month. May will be a month of a lot of activity, physical activity. So we start with the 5 of Cups. You are asked to consider carefully before making major decisions, as the effects may have some unforeseen consequences. 2 5s, the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Wands, tells of new experiences ahead. I'm telling you. Oh man. this damn light. I think something is going to change. It's right here. You may not be expecting it, but there is something changing. There's no extra meaning beside the Magician, the Tower card, and the Chariot card. So now I move to the Four of Wands. With the Magician, the Four of Wands appearing next to the Magician tells of exciting and original ideas, concepts, and projects. Next to the Magician tells of exciting originality, new ideas, projects, and goals. The Six of Wands. Nothing about the Six of Wands, but the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands doesn't say anything being next to these cards, but the Five of Wands can indicate discordance within a work situation. It tells of procrastination, disorganization, and the battles of life. The Five may be telling of one who feels the stresses of continual battle and worry. It is important. It is a message telling you that a situation calls for clarity and truth. It is important to state the facts firmly. Then cooperation is required, so it is imperative to have the facts straight. It can indicate the need for a struggle or confrontation in order to move on from a situation that has become stagnant. It tells of the new order of things and implies that better conditions are on the way. And nothing, let me look at the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords can warn of mishaps and accidents, both in and around the home, as well as out on the roads. That's why I gave you this. Not paying attention or not being able to react quickly. Take extra special care and try to preempt other drivers' actions. The next 8 weeks is highlighted in this respect. It can imply the Eight of Swords implies that one is being restrained and or held back in certain areas of life. It can suggest that an uncomfortable or unsavory situation is caused by familiarity. It is easier to stay in a familiar situation than to step out into the unknown, even if the unknown is much more satisfactory. It indicates confusion, disillusionment, or emotional hurt. And with this card here, I think something is gonna, for lack of a better term, come to your home and create some kind of conflict. Even with this, like having a new idea, causes some upset. You can see clearly what you need to do and move towards it. I don't understand the Five of Cups, the Tower, and the Six of Wands, what they're saying in this row. So I'm going to pull cards on the Five of Cups just to see what the sadness or sorrow may be about. I think there's the other thing that I want to tell you about this card. Let me read it and find out. All I can say is that it brings a message that things are not as final as they may initially seem. It can be an indication that there is a positive and uplifting news that will bring a joyful message. It's futile to dwell on what has been, what might have been, and far better to accept things and learn from the lesson and then move on. That's it. So we're going to look at to see what may be bringing sadness or depression or sorrow or regret. Sometimes the card is about regret. Because that's the only one I don't understand. Or maybe what you think is you're regretting or will be a regret will surprise you. Something that's going to turn out totally not the way you expected. And the change is going to bring some discordant energy. Usually, sometimes change is not smooth and easy. The Donna de Servicio, she is a servant, so she comes to help with people, and she also has a handkerchief in her hand. So this could be like a surrender or waving goodbye to a problem or a person. L'amante, male, lover. This card could be. It implies a lover, perhaps, but it could also be a friend or an acquaintance. But if you look, no one is there. He's singing to an empty window and an empty place. And last but not least, La Nemica. Now this is a different card because this represents an enemy. And it represents someone that you don't know. This person is hard to unmask. And she will get a hold of all of your secrets and then turn them around to and use them against you. She inspires trust. But you can't trust her. And sometimes it's about being your own worst enemy. So I don't know how she is playing out. She's definitely not a friend. Maybe she is acquainted with the maybe she is acquainted with the oh God, with the male lover. Maybe like you are friends with him and he wants to help you, but you have this person working behind your back or behind his back. So I don't know what that means. Either way it goes, you can get where you want to go if you just control your emotions. And you're not trapped. Things are not as bad as you think they are. So, I'm going to pull... Oh my God. That kind of dealt itself. Did not. And we will pull a Golden Nostradamus card. So, I can't tell you who she is, but it can be someone that always is working against you, but you don't know it because she's crafty and she tells lies. And this card says she has a knife in her hand, so she is about to attack, or she will attack in future. And see her with the mask? She's difficult to unmask. So be careful, and especially if you have an argument with someone and you're driving, or you're working around the house, something like that, because the cards indicate there can be some kind of accident. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. But this Wheel of Fortune is different. Fortune. Because she is blindfolded. So this is about other people sharing your destiny without them knowing that they're doing it so. And then we have Choose Wisely. I think it's a 7 of Cups. Yeah. So let me read the cards. I pulled this one out first. Choose wisely. This card comes forth when you have a vision or a goal that you want to achieve, but too many choices, scattered energies, and unrealistic expectations prevent you from attaining what you desire. That's what the Chariot card is all about. Controlling your emotions so you can make the correct choice. Opportunities are bountiful, but there is a decision to be made at this time. This card reminds you that the options now around you may appear to have all the influence and power, but in reality, you are in control and responsible for all the choices you make. Take time to think, analyze, and carefully look at the different possibilities that are in front of you. Don't be hasty just because you feel pressured, and don't be influenced by people who have no idea, expertise, or education in the area of your choices. A focused, wise decision far outweighs one made emotionally or in desperation. And I think this person is like a trigger for you when you finally figure it out. Okay? You may have to, it says she's unknown, so you're going to have to wait for her to reveal herself. Maybe that's what the Tower card is all about. That's an unexpected event. The Fortune. It's called luck. Happy is he who deserves and knows from the follies of others at every turn. Let me start over. Happy is he who observes and learns from the follies of others at every turn. A very lucky card, and bearer of great energies, loves, or winnings from gaming or profitable actions in life. It cancels the negative meaning of all cards next to it and reinforces the positive meaning. I take that to mean you will succeed even though you may have somebody who's trying to thwart you. And if you get a hinky feeling about somebody, trust your intuition. And so that's all I have for you, Virgo. I'm sorry that my camera is acting up, but good luck.